That's what
I saw you in the lobby.
Oh, I had to at the time. Yeah, I was taking one from food.
I went to high school.
Oh, sweet. What's your name? Allison. Alright, I'm Andy.
This is one source. Andy, where do you live in Markwood?
I live in Van Side.
Oh, I live out in 6th Street.
Sweet. I'll make sure to come visit you if I need help with like an engineering paper. Not actually engineering paper, project. The paper's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Alright, who else was up till like?
I saw everybody on the chat thing on C-Tools. I was down in the restaurant and I was just like, I was just sitting there for every time I was typing it. It was awesome, really.
Yeah, I went upset in my room and turned on my music. I was like, it took forever anyway. And there are even sources. This was supposed to be fun. There weren't any sources.
I'm having so much fun now. No, I had to go to the news and like sit down and like go look through five minutes.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I just said top of the ring. Because I just kind of
Oh, I said with the engineering stuff that I mean I just found like the different audible frequency ranges stuff about the degradation.
I found one in Sacramento on the internet, and then I told you I found like these integrated future answers. And it's just, I tested my class before, I think that really sacrificed quality for convenience as far as being like this in there, because like MP3 notes that I probably got sometimes like these days, you can just probably use an entire basement in your pocket.
Right. Very true. So I argued though that digital audio was not of a lesser quality than like vinyl, because like the audible range and the dynamic range are better without it. Like quantization of digital audio is not the yeah. Yep, it's very that's my mailing folder right here.
Have you gone to paper?
So I would have to I have to do the hair. I definitely want to well, it looks like it's now I know what I have to do. So it's everything I do.
Yeah. How sweet did you get?
Alright,
like 3 species minor. I have it came from you do it better than all the other people in my team.
I mean, I get like 2 years.
So much.
Is that considered just a big percent? I don't know, just in case. No, just in case they needed to.
I just realized I forgot to get work.
So the country exam was
I usually have 2 examples per half, like the average is 49.
We're doing something.
Yeah.
the average for one was 64.
Oh yeah, this is the lecture that went out. Like he was like,
No, I feel like I could not get into it.
You cannot get into it, you cannot get into
I
it.
hate you, Andy.
Switched
Did we really?
I thought it was because I couldn't figure out on the website
Alright, what'd you
how to
get?
schedule like a subject.
Very nice.
So, how do you schedule?
I'll get you.
well, this exam was like, so we got one, the next one goes 35. So if you do better, now you do very good to be a larger amount of that. So I mean,
I don't understand why you okay,
To a fake person?
into a fake person.
Yeah.
Second, why you would write sorry about that. Controversial issues that
Yeah, they
Just
4 hours.
okay.
And after the
Yeah, yours is good. Well, yeah, plus you have your requirement.
Yeah, man. That's
Which is very important.
we'll give you
Hey, Dad, before you go.
Center it. Perfect. It's much cooler. Perfect.
No, I think some of the I thought you were thinking it was would it be an acceptable price actually?
Papers need to be stapled.
I found that actually going to the library is much easier. That would be one copy. Yeah, no, actually, we just kind of like browsed and found awesome feeling rather I love this. Yeah, I was like. You need the hard copy?
Does anybody have a stapler? Okay. I care about people. Is that?
You asked an obvious question.
I know.
That's clutch having a stapler.
Oh, no, I don't. I thought especially if it's thank you.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, I guess you guys have to reimburse me. So if I said we would go talk to him, you'd be like, this is still alive. No. It's obvious. Whoa, that was I'm done. Yeah, we all stayed up at
Yeah.
hunting down sources.
Either way, you have Thursday means it's the last day.
Yeah, I found the sources ahead of time. Writing out.
I've got I've got
I think not assigning it would be a good first step.
I'm not entirely sure what I do, so
That would be my best buddy. That would be
How you doing, Mom? Hey. Nervous yet? What's happening? I don't know. Yes.
Do you need to borrow stage room?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
charging through it.
just going to look like a great man.
Yeah.
After I look at that, I'm sitting at the bus stop. It's like, well, you know, but I can't register it. So she's like, oh, she's like, I can't practice it. No. I just, I don't know, I can't remember her name, it's a seizure section. Yeah, so I'm doing research. I would have preferred to be texting. No, she's like, oh, I've never seen you before.
There's a stapler that's damaged. I don't think it's broken. You broke it? If I broke it, I'll get you a new one. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, you should definitely try
There we go.
Like, I'm still like, trying to not fail at I start not
I almost felt like I was Jake every time.
yeah, but I got to like where it started. King of the Park. I was trying not to add things like sad hate speech. Yeah. Like, I need to say sad, but it's right. Most successful, but
It's all back. I fixed it.
like typing is hard.
There's a damn thing.
Why am I there?
It doesn't even stay together anymore. What is this?
Oh no, kids, put it together.
Like, I was listening to
No,
Final Fantasy X.
I don't know, you gotta put them together. Yeah, there you go.
I and it's virtual, it's synthesized. I think it's just where it's kind of word orchestra. Type of Microsoft Word. No, Word is that. Word's a lot of things. Really? Because Word's so easy. Because Word can open docx and RTF.
I mean, I think everyone
Besides this Microsoft, oh, Microsoft Words. Process. I don't know. Yeah, Microsoft Word is supposed to open. Oh, can you open it in 2000 or 2000? Well, yeah, but can't you like revert to 2000?
Good morning. Thanks for staying up late. finishing the paper, and read the chat room too. That was the easy assignment, by the way. Okay? Wait till the end of the semester. But we'll help you. Okay, so if you haven't done so already, you should have, Paul should have your hard copy. If you're in Paul's discussion, I should have your hard copy. Okay? And then today we have, we're lucky to have a group, the U of M Educational Theater Company and Kelly McKee, and they're going to be doing a skit for you, and then also ending with some questions and answers at the end. Okay. So thank you very much. And also, if you could please close your laptops and take out your headphones. Thank you. Put away any other electronics.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You don't need your laptops.
Hey, thanks for having us today, you guys. My name is Callie McKee, as Professor said, and I'm the Educational Theater Director, Office of New Student Program, which means that I have the privilege to be able to direct UMetc. How many of you guys saw UMetc at summer orientation? All right, make some noise. Did you like the show? Did you not like the show? Yeah. Make some more noise. Yes. Good. Well, I'm glad you guys liked the show in the summer. Today, we're going to do a show that's a little bit different than what you saw in the summer, but it's going to require the same kind of participation, making noise, asking questions from you guys, okay? So they're actors, so the more you can interact with them, the better they feel about themselves, you know, that's the most important thing. Good. So what we're going to do today is we're going to, professors asked us to come in and talk about teamwork, working in teams. So I assume most of you have already worked in teams, already in high school, or you've worked in teams so far. You do not. Raise your hand if you've worked in teams already. Awesome. Okay, so keep your hands up if working in teams is your favorite thing ever. Yes. In the room. I love it. To share ideas. Good. Okay, so most people didn't raise their hands, which is pretty common when I ask that question. So why? Why don't people like working in teams? What happens in teams that makes us not want to do it ever again?
Well, ever is a pretty lofty thing to say.
Okay, yeah, I do enjoy working.
You do working in teams. What problems do we have working in teams? Do you guys ever work? Yeah, go ahead. So just trying to get a meeting time together. Okay. What else? Yeah.
You can't work on stuff whenever you want.
You can't work on stuff whenever you want, so it's not your schedule. You gotta do what other people tell you to, or agree on something. Okay.
Someone will be like, I want it this way, and someone will be like, I want it this way, and then there's a big commotion.
Okay, so big commotion, different people wanting to do things different ways. All right, what else we run into? Yeah.
People not completing their assignments they're supposed to do.
People not doing what they're supposed to do. Okay. Are there other people who do more than they're supposed to do?
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Good. All right. So hard to get everything done because everybody wants to be in control. What else? What other problems? Those are pretty good ones. Okay. So you guys are not alone. I will tell you this. Okay. We talked to a lot of engineering students. A lot of engineering students told us a lot of the same things. Okay. And they were saying, here's some issues that we're having in group. Here's what's going on, and we need some help. Okay. So we put this sketch together, talking with engineering students about some of the things that happened. And we're going to give you a chance today to kind of help you out in some of those, with some of those team dynamics, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to watch a sketch performed by UMetc, and then after the sketch, you guys are going to have some time to talk with each other, and then you're going to have this really cool chance to ask the characters question about what was happening in the scene, okay? We know that in group work, a lot of times things are more complex than they seem, right? There's a lot of things going on. Somebody's acting a particular way because of a day they had, or some other experience in some other class, or because they're feeling a particular way, but we don't always know what's going on, okay? So this is going to be your chance to figure out what's happening inside the brains of these characters, and give you a chance to ask some questions about their behaviors, about how they think the team's working, about their background information, and then we're going to try to come up with some solutions to help the team work better. Sound good? Yes, good. Good, you get to do theater in your class. That's pretty cool, right? Sweet. All right, sweet. So what we're going to do is now we're going to turn our attention up front, and we're going to watch Off Course.
Hi,
Rob.
Hey Beth, how are you?
Fine, thanks. So the project seems pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, except it's so ridiculously easy. I mean, I'm paying all this money for this.
Okay.
Hey Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Good, good. So you saw the game last week, right? What is Rich Rod thinking?
Yeah,
Hey.
you're late.
Okay, sorry, chill out. Hey, Beth.
Hey.
How's it going?
Fine.
Good, good. I like that shirt.
Oh.
Dude, what's up? Hey! So, what happened?
Oh man.
Were you with
Last night?
Sarah?
Bingo!
Nice!
So you heading over to Jim's tonight?
Oh, yeah, that's tonight. Right, well, we better get started on this thing. I gotta swing back by the house and pick up my friend Jack.
Jack Daniels?
Yeah, you know! Hey, you still have the design description for the project, right?
Oh yeah, I got that. It's right, it's right here. Haha.
Dude,
Oh, man.
What?
it's alright. I've got another copy right here.
So, what do we do?
Well, let's read over the design description and then figure out how we want to split up the work.
Yeah, I think what I need to be doing is looking at the specs for the sensors.
Really?
Yeah, I'll figure out what the response rate is and then we can work out what parameters work best for the code.
Okay, so then let's all go over the specs then.
Let's just get started with this. I'll explain to you later if you don't understand.
I don't. That's not necessary.
Yeah, let's go over the specs.
Okay.
So we mount sensors on our remote control car so it can follow a course of yellow reflective tape.
Right, we choose where to mount the sensors on the car, then vary the parameters to make the code work.
And the controller code, it reads the sensors and steers the car.
Of course.
This is pretty cool. My friend did this in high school. I think writing the code was the hard part, though.
Well, we don't have to worry about that too much because they're giving us most of the code, so we just need to vary some parameters.
Yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we vary the code on how often we take samples from the sensors and how sharp we want to turn for every sample that way, of course.
So then...
You know what? I'll just work on the code myself.
Oh, I mean, yeah, okay. If that's what you want to do.
Wait, but the project description says that each person is supposed to be able to explain each part of the project during our presentation.
Beth, it's fine. I'll catch everyone up later.
So then we'll just mount the sensors on the car. So what, we solder them on?
Yeah.
Really? Well, then I'll do that part. I would like to get more experience soldering.
I don't know. I mean, if you've never done it before, maybe I should do it. I mean, we really don't want to screw that part up.
Yeah, but isn't the purpose
So,
of this...
where are we gonna put them?
Behind the front tires, right?
The front tires?
Yeah, near the steering tires, so they can sense the tape the soonest. Yeah.
No.
Where?
In the middle.
The middle?
Yeah, that way they're the average of the car's position.
Oh.
And we get the most accurate reading.
Yeah, but don't you think...
do that. This is pretty cool.
Well, Joe, let's mount the sensors with tape or something at least. Mount them in a way we can move them in case we want to try a different mounting location.
Okay.
We don't need to. I mean, that way they'll slide around and mess up our measurements.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the best place.
It is. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It is.
All right, let's get started. So, Rob, you take care of the code then?
Yeah, no problem.
So, Rob does the code, you'll mount the sensors, I'll set up a few courses, should be easy. That just leaves Beth. You can type up the report, right?
Okay, but we all need to contribute to the report. It's not just typing it up. I mean, we have to make sure the pieces fit together, then there's the editing.
But you know what you're doing.
And I can help you out with that.
And it looks like you're taking some great notes, too. Can you make copies of those for us?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we're gonna need an email list, too. Beth, can you take care of that, too?
I guess.
Are we done?
God, I hate group work.
Yeah.
So, Dan and I ended up going to that party, and it was pretty cool. But then I had to wake up at like 6:30 in the morning to write this paper. Everything seemed to be going kind of slow until this last week. I have the paper, 2 exams, and now this project due. I really thought the project was going to be cool, but I don't know.
So we're gonna meet tomorrow, and like Joe just took the car for me to mount the sensors. It's what I wanted to do in the first place, but I really wish I had the car right away. Now I have to blow up this problem set and do this. I really thought this project was going to be cool, and I don't know why it has to be like this.
I got the code done. It better work. I'd asked Joe to send me an email and tell me how the mounting went, but he never did.
We're scheduled to meet tomorrow. Beth sent out her notes and did the email list, but like, nothing else has happened. I thought Rob knew what he was doing and would just take care of this thing, but now I'm not so sure. You know what I mean? I sent Rob like half a dozen emails. He hasn't responded to any of them. We'll see what happens.
Does your watch work?
Yeah?
Well, maybe you should use it.
What?
Just joking.
What?
I was just joking.
All right, Rob, take it easy. Beth, how'd the sensors turn out?
Beth?
Pretty good. It seemed to work out okay. I didn't have much time, though.
You had all week.
Come on, let's just give this thing a trial run. You have the microcontroller programmed, right, Rob?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's do a practice run. Give me the controller. Sweet. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Tell me when you're ready. Whenever you're ready.
When he's ready. All right. Go.
Damn! Didn't even try to turn. What happened?
Make sure you check the soldering.
I should have just done it.
Is that cable plugged in backwards?
Oops. We fixed it.
You know what? I'll just take that car back with me. I'll make sure it works, right?
Okay, sure, whatever.
I mean, yeah, if you want to do it.
I'm gonna need all the information for the written report,
We'll
though.
all email you some.
Okay, but then we should really meet again and I'll go over this together.
Why can't we just email?
If you check your email.
What?
Look, let's just set up some more time to meet face to face instead of just relying on email.
Okay, we can do that this weekend. So we'll meet back here at 1 p.m. Saturday?
That's a little early. I have another study group. How about 3?
Okay, but I gotta be out of here by 4.
Oh yeah, me too.
Great. 3 it is.
Then I think we're done.
Good, can we give him a round of applause? So how many of you think this looked familiar? How many of you worked with people like this before? Raise your hand. How many of you have been people like this? We won't ask you who. Raise your hand. All right. So quite a few. Good. So that's good. So this is some people that you identify with. So this is good. We're going to have a chance now to figure out what was really going on in that scene. So first thing I'm going to have, Ashima, she's going to pass out some sheets to help you guys talk. But just turn to the person next to you and try to talk about a little bit about what was happening in the scene. Okay? What behaviors do you think were helping this group? What behaviors weren't? What are some of the dynamics you saw working this group? And see if you can figure out some questions that you might want to ask here. You don't have to write them down.
Oh,
something that goes with yours. When you overuse those muscles, your hand or like the wrist sensor will actually do it, so it results in paralyzes your hand. And if it gets really bad, then it's like damage.
I just want to see it.
Yeah, it's from like a couple days ago right now. This player doesn't do that. I can play.
He doesn't have a watch.
I mean, I haven't played with anybody else.
You don't even have a watch.
Well, I've been. I'm still gonna play a lot, but I just have to make sure I have it. Rob is doing.
We will. They have enough sheets too, but I will.
I think he hates group process.
I think that might be.
I don't know.
I would say that's
Take that 18 class
Right, good. So y'all sound like you're talking about good things, or at least you're taking me out enough to be so hopefully you guys have some questions. So what we're trying to do again is just figure out what's happening in this group, okay? Why people are acting the way they're acting, why they're saying the things that they're saying. We'll assume that everybody in the group, they're basically good people, okay? We'll assume that nobody's in here to purposely sabotage this group and make them fail, okay? That everybody wants to get a good grade on this project, okay? So let's find out what's happening. So first I'm going to have the characters introduce themselves one more time, and you also have it on the paper there in front of you.
Dan.
Hey, I'm Joe.
Beth.
I'm Rob.
So we've got Dan, Joe, Beth, and Rob. And again, they're on order on the paper there. So who has a question for Dan, Joe, Beth, or Rob that can help us try to investigate and figure out what's going on here? Dan, Joe. Good.
I've got one for Dan.
Good.
Are you sure you have Rob's email correct?
Oh, so
His address correct?
so I don't know if he can answer that, but can we ask Rob if he received the emails? If that would be a good way to check, or?
I thought Rob had said that he had.
Oh, okay. So are you sure that you had his email correct? And then Rob, did you receive Dan's emails?
Well, I did receive his emails. I didn't receive Joe's emails.
Oh.
And I did receive his emails, but I have enough of other work to do. I mean, what's he doing? He's just putting tape on a cardboard. There can't be anything difficult in that.
So you're saying you purposely didn't answer his emails?
There's no point answering his emails. There wasn't anything. I had so much other work. I'm taking 22 credits. I've got this research project up. I seriously do not have time to answer to every email that I get.
Okay. So apparently he got it, and he had the right one. Did you guys, was there any other modes of getting in touch with each other besides emails that you talked about? The email was wrong. Did you guys have each other's cell phone numbers or anything?
I have Joe's, but...
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good question. Keep it coming, guys. What else? What else? Yeah, thanks.
Rob, you mentioned something about taking 22 credit hours. You sure you're getting enough sleep?
Yeah, I am. Is that really important at this point? No? I mean, what's so funny?
So, talk about your 22 credit hours. 'Cause I think
Yeah, exactly.
he's
What's so
expressing
funny about
a
that?
genuine concern for you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I mean, I have enough expectations on me. I have my parents are engineers. My brother just graduated from the same school. He got a 4.0 in every semester. I need to do better than all of them. If you understand the expectations, the load of being in my position, then you wouldn't be laughing at this point.
Okay, so you're saying you got a lot of pressure on you. Okay, so we can still be concerned about him, which I think is good, but it sounds like he's got a lot of pressure. All right, good.
So if you have such a huge load, why don't you let other people do more of the work?
I cannot trust my grade with someone else.
Wow.
I cannot.
That's pretty rude.
Well,
No, I'm not being rude. I'm just being practical.
Talk about that, Rob. So why can't you trust, and we'll ask you guys how you feel about that too. So you're saying that you can't trust anybody else. Why?
I don't want to say this in front of everyone, but
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Yeah, we can We can ask you without any bad. So can we time out everybody? See, it's theater magic, isn't it cool? So he's gonna be able to talk, and no one else is gonna be able to hear him. Woo.
All right, this
Go
is
ahead.
my first impression of the group. One person walks in late, one person wants to learn how to solder, one person is texting, talking about football, the game. I mean, you're here for the project. You're supposed to be talking about the project and not everything else in the world.
So you're saying, Rob, that because of these other factors, that you're doubting their competency or their intelligence?
That's my first impression. And how would I trust my grade with people who are talking about everything else but the project?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I cannot.
Okay, so it's time out. So let me ask you guys, although we've got a couple of moves about Rob, when people show up late, when people talk about things outside of the project, does it affect how smart we think they are, how capable we think they are? Yes, no? So when someone shows up late, does it affect how trustworthy you are with them? Yeah, okay. So it seems like Rob's got a very strong opinion, but okay, but it might affect it. Okay, time in everybody. Good. So what do you guys think about Rob? Rob saying that he didn't trust you guys with the grade. You were here for that. So what do you guys think about that?
Whatever. I mean, if he wants to do the work, I'm not going to argue with him about it.
Well, why not?
I have enough on my plate as is. I mean, I'm working 2 jobs to put myself through college. I don't get, my daddy to pay for my college. So I have to work my butt off to even stay here. So he's more than welcome to take it.
Okay. Good. It sounds like you guys are asking good questions and bringing a lot of stuff up. So let's keep going and find out what's happening. Yeah.
Dan and Joe, why did you have to leave at 4?
Well, we're driving down to Ypsilanti, and it's a good friend of ours' 18th birthday, and that only happens once. And as far as I'm concerned, in the grand scheme of things, one assignment versus something that doesn't happen more than once in your life, it's more important. So we have to leave by 4.
So you're saying it's more important to keep up your social obligations?
Yeah, I think having friends and having connections is extremely important, especially in the business world. That's how you get jobs.
Is that something people run into in engineering? Having to balance not wanting to miss out on social stuff, having a social life versus carrying the workload of an engineering student. You guys run into that? Okay. Yeah. So that's yeah. Go ahead.
Beth, why were you so cold today?
When was she, can you tell us when she was?
In the beginning, when you started talking to her, she was like head down.
When she. Okay, so Beth, why did you? It seemed like you were. He's saying you're cold. It seemed like you weren't happy with Dan in some way, shape, or form. Can you just talk about what was happening there?
Well, I didn't think that I was cold or anything. He just made me really, really uncomfortable. When he said that he liked my shirt, I know he wasn't talking about my shirt, and so I just have trouble working with somebody who just makes me just feel uncomfortable. And this is supposed to be a group setting, and we're all supposed to learn and understand things together. And it just made me feel really weird.
Okay, so you're saying you're feeling uncomfortable, which is maybe what you were picking up on, not wanting to be really social with Dan. Yeah. Okay.
Beth, you look like you're really upset about how things are going. Why don't you speak up?
Okay. So yeah, go.
But the thing was, I was speaking up. In the beginning, I was the one that said that we should split up the work, and I kept on giving suggestions. I wanted to solder. I thought that we should place the sensors behind the front tires, but nobody was listening to me. And so, what's the point of continually trying to assert myself when nobody wants to hear my opinion? And so I guess I just shut down.
Do you guys agree that Beth was asserting herself, or do we think she was being quiet? No. Okay. So, but it seemed to some people that she wasn't asserting herself. Okay. Okay. And she was saying that she wasn't feeling comfortable and she was getting shot down a lot. When somebody's not comfortable in a group for whatever reason, does it affect how they work in a group? Right. People can be uncomfortable for a lot of reasons, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Joe, why did you at first not let Beth do the soldering work and then pass it on to her?
Well, I was worried at first because she said she'd never done it before, and that's something that we, like I said, really don't want to screw up. If soldering is something that's hard to redo, and if that doesn't work, then we have no project. But then I realized that it's for the better of the group, and she wanted to do it, and I had a lot going on, like I said, and I figured since I had a lot going on and I didn't really have time to do it, and she wanted to do it, everybody wins if I let Beth do it. So I figured it was the right thing to do, the best thing for the group.
So you felt like you were doing Beth a favor by giving her the car.
Yeah. I was a little worried about it at first, but yeah.
So you said that you were worried about Beth doing it because she didn't have any experience soldering.
Yeah.
Did Beth say she didn't know how to solder? What did she say?
She wanted to get better.
Beth, do you know how to solder?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before. I wouldn't say that I'm the best solderer in the world, but I've done it enough times to kind of know like what I'm doing.
And so Joe was saying that you felt like you gave it to her because you wanted to help the team out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, don't you think it might have been able to help the team more if you helped her solder, like helped to teach her to solder? Then that way you both get your input.
Did you
So
guys
it goes
talk about
faster,
that?
too.
That's a great suggestion. Did you guys talk about maybe working on the soldering together? So if she wanted more experience and you seemed like you were pretty confident, but you had time issues, did you talk about working on it together?
We didn't really talk about it at all. We didn't really talk about working together on anything. It was kind of more of like split up the work and do it on our own. That's what everybody has time for.
So you're saying anything in the whole project?
Yeah, it's a time thing. You know, it just takes too much time to try to coordinate schedules like that.
Okay. And it seems like you've got a very full. Yeah, go ahead.
Rob, it seems like you kind of cut off the second test that was coming once the car was supposed to be fixed. Why did you do that instead of verifying that it was fixed?
Okay. Who puts a plug in backwards? No one does that. Plugs are supposed to go in the right way. And if you can't do that, then I don't see how they can complete the project. So it's best, it's most fitting that I do it myself.
So let me ask you guys something. Did they, do we know what was wrong with the car? Do we know that it was a plug? No. Do we know that it was the code or the soldering or the track? Why don't we know? Okay, because we didn't try anything else. Okay, did you guys think about, did it bother you that he took the car back?
Yet again, it goes to that whole idea, if he wants to do it, whatever, let him do it.
Okay.
It really bothered me, actually, you know, because we're here to learn and to understand as a group, and I felt like there were times when Rob just kind of dominated. And so, like, how am I supposed to understand what was wrong with a car if he didn't let anybody else see it?
But he seems like he knows what he's doing. So I mean.
Why does he seem like he knows what he's doing?
I mean, I don't know. He's very assertive with his ideas. I mean, he came right in here and he started telling us what we need to do and what's going on. And he's obviously looked over the project already, and he talks like he knows what he's doing. He has that general air about him that he seems like he knows what he's doing.
But I thought that, well, I was being assertive with my ideas too in the beginning, and then people just shut me down. And
Did you guys have something to add, or were you just? Oh, okay, good. That's okay. I thought maybe you had some brilliant insights you were just dying to share that you couldn't wait. No insights. Good. Good. So, how many people agree with Joe? Joe thinks that Rob knows what he's doing better than anybody else. How many people agree with Joe? Okay, thank you. In fact, thank you. Very honest. Why do we think that Rob knows what he's doing? Or why do you think Joe thinks he knows? Yeah.
Like when Rob speaks, he does it like his thoughts are already really organized, and he just says it loudly, like this is what it is.
Do we generally think people who are louder and more assertive know what they're talking about?
Yes.
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. It happens. Okay. I had one guy, I asked that question in one class, and the guy from the back yelled, yes! Good. Okay, these are really good questions, you guys. We're starting to figure out a little bit about what's happening here. Who has some more questions? Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask everyone how the project is going to turn out based on everything so far.
That is a great question. So, how do you guys feel like the project, based on what we've seen so far, how do you feel like the project's going to turn out?
We'll get an A.
How are you so sure?
Because I've done most of the work.
Okay, and you're pretty confident. Okay. Beth, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think that we're going to get an A. We didn't do anything together. We didn't understand anything together. And even if we do get a good grade, it's not going to be worth it because we didn't understand the project.
Is that important to you in a group? Is kind of figuring out what else is going on?
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Okay, Joe, what do you think?
I think it's going to turn out all right. Like I said, Rob knows what he's doing.
Okay.
I trust him.
Okay. Dan?
I mean, with Smarty Pants doing all the work, how can we not get an A, right?
Okay, so it's, yeah, go ahead, I'll let you answer your question, good.
Alright, Beth, you seem to be fairly submissive as far as the group goes. It's like when everybody's quiet and looking at you, you tend to speak up more, but other than that, you never make eye contact. So, I mean, is there anything else going on in your life that is bothering you at this particular point? I mean, or is that just it?
Yeah, but it's kind of personal. So I
Okay,
don't
good, so let's time out, everybody. Time and Beth. Good, so Beth, the question was, it seemed to this gentleman here that you were not speaking up, you're being submissive, he said, and we were just kind of wondering kind of what, if you agree with that one, and then what was going on kind of in your life maybe to have that happen.
Well, I guess it was just more specific to the group. You know, I walked in and I'm very, very uncomfortable when, you know, Dan says that like extra creepy statement. And then on top of that, like I notice, you know, I'm the only girl here. And so that already kind of makes me uneasy. And then on top of that, you know, I don't want to be seen as like this, you know, affirmative action case. I feel like I have to get the answers right all the time. They keep on shutting me down. And it just got to the point where I just didn't want to like be here or engage in this project anymore.
So you're saying you came in with some kind of apprehension, feeling you had to prove yourself
Yeah.
already, and then you said you felt that Dan's comment was creepy and made you feel uncomfortable, so that's kind of, okay. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So Beth, as a female engineer, don't you feel like you're going to be faced with this situation like a lot, being the only girl, and shouldn't you use this as a learning experience to like assert yourself?
So you're saying because she should get used to feeling uncomfortable and creepy because she's going to have it happen. I'm asking.
Her experience and build her confidence, because it will probably happen a lot since engineering girls are going to go.
Okay, well, I'm going to let her answer, and then I'm going to ask you a question too. So, Beth, do you feel like your experience in this group is typical kind of your experiences in engineering so far, and then maybe in the future? How would you like to?
Well, I think that it's typical. You know, I come from a small town, and everyone is pretty equal. So this is kind of new to me, and the thing is, it's really, you know, it's really easy to say, oh, you know, I'm going to assert myself and, you know, learn from the situation, you know, or be more like powerful in the group. But once you're actually in the situation and you have 3 other people who aren't listening to you, it's so much harder to like voice your opinions.
So, good, time out. So when somebody's not feeling comfortable in a group, whose responsibility is it to make that person feel comfortable? The group's the individual, okay? We say maybe it's a combination of both. We can explore that too. Okay. So if Beth's situation, she feels like her situation sucks, is the solution for her situation to continue to suck and for her to get better at putting up with sucking situations? No, right? Okay. Right. So we'll talk about how we can adjust that for Beth. Okay. When somebody's feeling like they're coming in and they feel uncomfortable and they're coming in feeling like they have to prove themselves, do you think that makes them eager to speak out and disagree with people in a group? When you're outnumbered in a group, or when you're feeling like you have to defend yourself, are you super like, ooh, I'm going to argue with people? Yes? No? No. Okay. Good. I'm going to give you guys, these are good, so I'm going to give you some time to ask them questions without other people hearing. So Dan, time in. So Dan, what grade are you getting in this class?
I think I'm passing with like a C.
C. Okay, and are you happy with that grade, or?
I get credit for the class, and that's what matters.
Okay. Dan, why do you think professors assign group work?
I don't know, I guess make it easier for the group.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Dan while no one else can hear him? Any inner burning questions about the life of Dan? Yeah, go ahead.
Did you take this class because you wanted to or because you felt like you had to?
Good question.
Well, I mean, like, it's kind of required to be an engineer. You have to take the intro classes, and, you know, I wanted to be an engineer. I mean, I want to be able to travel, and I don't want to have to, you know, work 2 jobs for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Does it seem to you as though Dan is disinterested? Is that why you asked, or?
I couldn't tell. I wanted to sort of see.
Okay. Okay. Dan, are you interested in this class?
Yeah, I actually like what we're doing. It's just like, as soon as I show up, it seems like it really doesn't matter if I'm here or not. No one really asks for my opinion. No one cares what I say or if I say anything.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe people are noticing like your indifference beforehand, and that's why they're not asking you about your opinion. You being like, oh, okay, go for it. And he says it.
Do you think that it was a result of people not asking you stuff because you seem like you don't care, or why do you think people didn't draw you in more? Is that fair?
Well, it seemed like Rob was just all gung-ho about like, well, I'm going to take over, I'm going to take charge, I'll just delegate everything. And
So why didn't you argue with him?
because when you're dealing with a guy like that, there's no winning.
Okay. Yeah. Was there another question over here for? Yeah, thanks.
If you entered like the group team, came into the teamwork with a more professional attitude, don't you think you'd be taken more professionally in the group? Like have your opinions more respected?
So what about, let's help him answer that. What about Dan struck you as unprofessional?
He came in and he was talking about partying with Joe the night before and hooking up with girls.
Yeah.
And then creeping.
Then being creepy.
Yeah, and then just hitting on a teammate is pretty inappropriate.
Okay.
Especially after doing that.
So Dan, do you think that you coming in late, which you talked about, and the things you said to Beth, do you think do you think it's fair then that would reflect on how capable or how interested people you think you are?
I don't think so. I mean, I had good reason for coming in late.
Why were you late?
I was actually coming from my job because somebody forgot to pick up their shift, so I can't leave until they show up.
Did they know that?
Nobody asked.
Okay. Okay, good. Time out. Time in Joe. Any questions for Joe? Joe, what grade are you getting in class?
I think a B+.
Okay, are you happy with your grade?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think professors give group work, Joe?
It's definitely because, like, in the real world, you have to work with other people. And there are always other people that you have to work with. So it's all about building social skills and being able to communicate with people and working in a team, because that's what the real world's like.
Do you like working with other people? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. I like it. Yeah.
Any other questions for Joe? Okay, good. Letting Joe up. Oh, good, good.
It seems like you end up passing a lot of your work on to other people, so do you feel like you're pulling your weight or you're working with.
Do you feel like you're pulling your weight in this assignment, Joe? Do you feel like you're contributing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know if you really noticed, but I was kind of like the reason the machine was working. I was like the oil in the machine, I guess. I mean, if you look at the group, there were many times when like everybody was angry or they were stressed, and I was making sure I was calming people down or getting things going or relieving awkward tension. And I think it's really important to have a group leader who can be there to like make sure that the group runs well. And I think that was my job.
Okay. What percentage of the work do you think you did, just out of curiosity?
25%-ish.
25%. Okay, you guys are engineering people. You're good at math, so write down. Let's keep track. 25%. Thanks. Time out. We'll ask Dan real quick. Dan, time in. Dan, what percentage of the project do you think you did?
I don't know, like 25, 30%.
Great. Time out. So 25 to 30 for Dan. Beth, time in. Thanks. What percentage of the project do you think you did, Beth?
I think I did like 42% or something.
42%. Okay. Yeah. And Beth, what grade are you getting in this class?
I'm getting an A-.
Okay. Are you happy with your grade?
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm understanding the material, and I'm going to office hours.
Okay.
I feel like I really have a good grasp on this.
Why do you think professors assign group work?
I think they assign group work so we can work as a team. In real life, you're meeting so many different type of diverse people, and you have to work with them, and you have to work together to achieve an ultimate goal.
Okay, so you like the process of working with people. Okay, time out. Time in, Rob. Rob, what percentage of the work do you think you did in this class or in this project? Sorry.
Oh well, I would say that I did the entire project, but then just being fair to the others, about 88%.
88%. Okay. And Rob, why do you think professors assign group work?
Well, I really don't understand why they assign group work. I mean, it's usually one person doing it at the end of it. But if you ask me, it would be the leader comes out.
Oh, so that the professor can see who the leaders are,
yeah, of course.
or people.
Yeah.
Okay. Good timeout. Good timing, everybody. Okay, good. Any last questions for these guys? You guys did a really good job trying to figure out what's happening. Any other questions that can help us figure out how to fix something? Yeah.
Rob, who do you think the leader was?
Good question.
That's obvious. I mean, it was me. Who did the project?
So Rob thinks it was him. Okay. Does anybody? Do you guys all agree with that?
No.
Not really.
Okay. Who do you guys think? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Your question. Yeah.
Oh, Joe, how do you feel about that?
It's a good question.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess he did do a lot of the work, so in that sense, he was important to the group, but I wouldn't say he was leading the group, really. I mean, he was just doing stuff. I was the one, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I was the one who was making sure the group actually worked and functioned, so I guess I would be the leader in this case. But.
I don't think that.
Go ahead.
Joe, do you think that you were oiling the machine by cutting Beth off and stuff like that to keep things going?
I don't think I was cutting Beth off. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't really remember instances where I cut Beth off. I think I always tried to pay attention to Beth. She had that idea about putting tape on the car, and I listened. It was a really cool idea, but then Rob said it wasn't necessary, so then we didn't do it. But
Good. Okay. Oh yeah. Last question. Thanks.
Why do you feel that Rob is always right? Like no human is perfect, so he's got to be wrong about something.
I'm sure, but it's probably not stuff in this class. I mean, he really seems to know what he's doing. In class, he's loud here. He knows what he's doing, and he acts like it, and you can tell. And you can really tell that Rob knows his stuff.
Okay. Absolute last question. Good.
Rob, what's your grade in class?
I'm gonna get an A for sure, but I would have preferred an A+, yeah.
Okay. Good. Any that was last one. Good. So let's let you guys go. Let's give them another round of applause. So you guys asked some really good questions, and I'm thinking that you guys can have some really good reflections on what you saw here based on some of the questions that were coming at the end, which were, don't you think that you're not doing this even though you think you are? So that's good. So let's talk about what's happening in this group, okay? What's going on? What are some of the dynamics we see in this group?
Rob's the man.
Rob's the man. Okay, so what does that mean, Rob's the man? What does that mean?
He wears the pants.
Is he the man? Does he think he's the man?
He thinks he's the man.
He thinks he's the man, right? So he doesn't trust other people to do any of the work in a group. Why?
Because he's the man.
Because he's not trusting.
He's not trusting people. Why isn't he trusting people? He wants to get a good grade. Why is it so important for him to get a good grade?
He feels so pressured by his family.
He's under a tremendous amount of pressure. As first-year engineering students, you may not agree with Rob in the way he behaves at all, but as first-year engineering students, do you understand someone who is getting immense pressure from their family or from their friends or because they're on scholarship to get a good grade?
Yes.
When you're under that kind of pressure, is it easy to trust other people in your group, especially if you have certain opinions about them coming in? No. So the guy comes in late, you're like, great, late guy. I'm not going to be late guy anywhere. Great. Okay. I don't know what's happening in Roswell. Good. What else? What else is going on? What else is going on? Yeah.
There seemed to be a really big lack of communication. Like they all had a reason why they were uncomfortable with the group, or like why it seemed like they would be not good members of the group, but no one else knew that reason.
Great. So they had good reasons. So he was late because he was coming from a job. Maybe a good reason. Nobody knew that. He didn't call anybody, right? Under a lot of pressure, but nobody knew that. Feeling uncomfortable, but nobody knew that. So there's all these things happening under the surface and no one's talking about. Would you say this group communicates directly or indirectly?
Indirectly.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they all seem to be pushing their own agenda, at least Rob was, and I mean, nobody really stopped to bother to pay attention to anybody else. I mean,
yeah.
Joe and Dan did to a certain degree, but that's just because they're friends. So.
Okay. So you're saying nobody was kind of concerned about the group process?
No.
People were concerned. Okay, good. What else is happening? What other dynamics do we see going on? Yeah.
I feel like they should have had like